Hello, all you Astroflower readers, and welcome to the weekly collective reading. We're just going to go quickly through the weekly readings of every single sign and seeing if there's some sort of connections. We're just going to be connecting a few bits and bobs to see if there's some sort of thread that we can see between the two, between all the signs. One thing I will, the first thing I noticed on the readings was the presence of the Judgment card. It seemed to be present in about 4 or 5 signs. It was present in Cancer, it was present in Aries, also in Sagittarius and in Scorpio and in Virgo as well. And I'm just quickly seeing if it was present in somebody else there. I didn't get to see. No, that was the so there was 5 signs out of the 12 that all had the Judgment card. And the funny thing was 3 of the signs, which was Virgo, Sagittarius and Aries, you all had the Judgment card in petal 6, which is the overall energy. And that seemed to play out a lot more with everybody else. There was very powerful cards actually for most people. If it wasn't like we had like the Queen of Swords on Libra, the King of Wands on Cancer, and we had the sort of Knight of Wands on Taurus, and we had the Seven of Swords on Leo. So it's a definite action week collectively, I think. I think the signs that are showing a little bit of difference, and there's 3 signs that's showing a little bit of difference, which is Scorpio, Sagittarius and Capricorn. The reason for this is because Capricorn and Sagittarius are fully into their autumn at this present time. So they're looking a little bit more inward. That's the moment that we look inward. That's the last 3 months before our birthday. And Scorpio is going through that transitional point as well. There was a little touch of that on Aquarius because we're slightly moving into the autumn of Aquarius. And you can see the first effects that can have on your reading. But generally it was a case of, as the dust settles from that lunar eclipse that we did a reading on for the collective and all individual signs, as this dust settles, there's particular signs that are making headways, and the one element signs that are making particular headways is the fire sign. So all fire signs this week seems to be getting a grasp on where they seem to be going, which is difficult within this energy at the moment that is coming through our system. We're going into a pole shift. Oh, we've always been in a pole shift because that's a continual sort of thing. But here we're coming to the height of the pole shift in the next few years, I think, over the next sort of like 10, 15, could be shorter than that. It's very difficult to say because these cycles are incredibly long. Usually last 1,500 years, 3,000, 6,000, 12,000 and 24,000 years. But you also get 18,000 years, 15,000 years and 21,000 years. So you get these shifts in the magnetic field of the Earth, and that changes the magnetic field in us, our aura and our chakras. And I've seen this also in my healing that I do on a weekly basis with people. And I've seen this also in particular signs. It's like it appears that Libra has had a particular week of annoying little things that seem to be sort of blocking your pathway at the moment or tripping you up as you go along. So there is a connection between them all. The fire signs seem to be heading onto a direction. The water signs seem to be getting it at the moment. They seem to be, this week here, they're dawning on them, as it were, and sort of realising their pathway. On earth signs, it's a similar sort of thing to the fire signs. They're getting a bit more direction, but they're looking for a bit more passion in their life and trying to instigate things. The only exception here would be Capricorn, who is still on that cusp of breaking through, as it were, which Capricorn you've been on for ages, it seems like. On the air signs, there is a clarity of thought, which plays really beautifully to you, with the Queen of Swords on Libra, the 7 of Cups on Aquarius, and they are slightly going into their autumn. So they're trying to find their evident path. And then you have the mutable, which is Gemini, lovely Gemini, who is getting a little bit more passionate about themselves and about their wishes of what they should be doing and going forward. There was less things on to do with love. So there was a few lovers, there was a few Two of Cups, but there was more sort of in a way of passion, really. I would say the passion is building up this week within the collective. And also the passion about what I would like to do in this world that's been coming through. So, and we saw that with the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups seemed to play out a lot. Within the fixed signs, you had Scorpio and Taurus, which is those two signs that started the eclipse season at the beginning of the year in Taurus and ended with Scorpio. But we also had it with Capricorn, with Sagittarius, and was there one other? I think there was one other. No, there wasn't. They're the only two. So there was 4 signs as well that was getting that same sort of cup. That Ace of Cups sort of energy coming through, where you've got to lead with your heart in a way. And that seemed to sort of say, seemed to have another aspect to the passion, basically. The other thing that was interesting was the intuition, like the High Priestess showed up in quite a lot of signs. In fact, it showed up in all of the Earth signs. And did it show up in any other signs? I think it did at some point. Yeah, it showed up in Libra as well. So there seems to be this connection with the interior, a sort of realization. This is what it seems to be coming out this week within all signs, basically. I will be doing videos on the Astroflower science according to fixed, mutable and cardinals, and that will be coming out Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. So you might want to see that, give it a clarification on how we see those particular what they called qualities of signs. There's just so much information going through my head at the moment. It's unbelievable. It's difficult to sort of follow it. I hope it's helping you out here to follow it as well. This is the first one we're doing, so it's a bit of a trial and error, and we'll see how it goes. So I was going to do some just a quick reading basically on our collective to see how that's going for this coming week, and see how we sort of see what the settling dust is for us. And the overall energy here, it's like a piercing light that basically comes through. Yeah, it's the intuition. That's that intuition card that I was talking about earlier on. So this is going to be mainly for your earth signs, but also Libra as well. But it does play out beautifully for those of you in the judgment. So then that's it was Sagittarius, Aries, and who was the other one? And Virgo as well. So this is clarity of thought, clarity of vision, clarity of mission should be coming out. I chucked Leo in there as well. That seems to be playing into it nicely. What's the collective karmic message for the relationship side? They seem to be tying up knots, connecting people together. That's what it seems like for most people. It's welcoming in those boats and sending boats out. It's doing the connections between long shores, between people at the moment. It's preparing for that journey as well, getting ready to go out there and get on. A little bit of procrastination, but then I think that's to do with the dust settling. Let's just see how the universe sort of like is influencing that. They seem to be running quickly. They're almost bringing on a mission to, I don't want to use the word connect again. It seems to be like sold, to weld people together, to make sure that we realize that we actually are codependent on one another. And the world will be in a much better place if we start realizing that it's important as well for our neighbor to be in a good place. There's that Magician card come out, and that came out in the Cardinals. So it came out in all the Cardinals, apart from Capricorn, of course, because Capricorn's going through their autumn period. But this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to manifest this coming together of people. And we saw that in the midterm elections as well in America, because everything is really in a balance. It's very close. It's probably too close to call, and it looks like everyone's going to have a fair share. Let's just see how our ancestors are trying to sort of help us out this week. Now, in the lunar readings, they were in a real collective thing. It was really emotionally charged. And here it's like they're encouraging us to go on, go, 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 go. They don't want to be disappointed. Don't miss our boat. That's what they're sort of saying. Now will be the time to start moving. And we saw that in the fire signs. You seem to be heading off in a direction because you've got those two judgment cards and also the Seven of Swords playing smart. Let's just see how they're sort of trying to influence the subconscious. So the conversation that we're all sort of having with ourselves and collectively. Choose your words nicely. Be kind to one another, I think. Patience with one another. I think that's what they're sort of saying here. It could be to do with this Mars retrograde going on. And I think, I'm not sure when we come out of that, and you can mention it in the comments below. That'd be really nice. But that's sort of coming out. There is that fire again coming up. That whole sort of fiery of thought of how we want things and how we perceive things to be, in the world, and how we want them to change, how we want them to evolve. Because the energy at the moment is very up and down. It's at one moment it's really hectic, and other moments it's as if like you pulled the rug out from underneath your feet in a way. So it's very frustrating energy at the moment, but then that's to do with the pole shift as well. And as that energy shifts, as the magnetic poles come together and they shift within themselves, this can also explain modes or fashions we have in the moment to do with gender and stuff like that. That's going through the human race and certainly going through the youth as well. But there is a degree of fashion about it, but there is a degree of energy about it. So, that passion is going to be leading on and pushing us through going forward. Let's just see how what's the karmic message for the financial side, the material side of life. This is it. I think this is that's a lot of cards coming out there. I'm not going to take them all. We've got to be careful not to put too much power into one hand. It seems like it's almost like there's ankle chains being attached to people, and we got to be wary of that. Yeah, it could be emotionally. This is where that passion is. There's the passion of the Ace of Wands. But I think we should take out the emotions and be serious about what we're doing and where we're going with finances in the going future. Certainly for the younger generation, we shouldn't be selling them a wrong dream, basically, for the going future. And I think this is going to build over time, right through to the next season of eclipses, which will be in April as well. Let's just see how the universe is trying to influence this sort of this material world at the moment. We have to change. I've been saying this for some time. I think there's a new technology coming out which will save our energy crisis. Basically, if you imagine if all computers run on 10% of the energy that they needed, all of a sudden we're going to be able to cut out a lot. If cars could run on, only sort of like 25% of the energy that they actually needed, simply because we got a new type of technology, which I think is going to be based upon light. And I think the universe is willing us to give us this opportunity. Now look at this. You've got 2 of Swords, 3 of Swords. That's also been something that's coming up, these consecutive sort of numbers within the readings. The 2 of Swords here, we've got a choice and we've got to make a choice. And the universe is not going to give it to us if we haven't come together, basically. And if we do come together, I think the technology will come to the surface through people. Let's just see how the ancestors are guiding us on this sort of material front. This is finances and everything like that. No time to waste. And there's a lot of preoccupation in the world at the moment. So there seems to be a lot going on and taking front stage, which doesn't really help us out. It's just distracting us. And I think the universe, I think the guides here, our ancestors, are trying to say, stop being distracted. Yeah, and being a little bit strength. This plays into the fire signs again, but it also plays into the cards of the King of Wands and the Emperor, which came out in a lot of people as well. If you've had it in your session, I think, and also on the financial sort of side, you've got to stay true to your values in a way of how we're going forward collectively. And I think we've got to bring the people who think that they're governing this world back to the real agenda of what we need to sort out. We built up a lot of debt. Maybe it's a complete and utter change of system that we need, rather than a change of just political parties. Let's just see how the ancestors are trying to influence the conversation that is within us for this going week. There seems to be a lot of straight talking. I think this comes into this. This plays into this card here. You need to take out the anger or the emotions when working things out and listening to your inner conversation as well. And don't get triggered, basically. The less we get triggered, leading on with the heart. This is what I was talking about as well with the collective, with the individual weekly readings. The Ace of Hearts, the Ace of Cups has been very prominent within the weekly readings on most signs. And I think we need to lead with our passions, our emotions, but without being angry, without involving emotions too much in the mental energy. It's just allowing the emotions to lead us onto happier climates, basically. Just lead with love. I think that's what it's trying to say to us here. Within the conversation, within you, according to the material world, lead with love more than anything else. Let's just see how it sort of like plays together and comes out for the following week, or how these sort of all connect for this coming week after that, going from the 20th onwards. Realization, basically. A realization. And that realization is going to be that strength that's got to come from within you, within us as individuals. I don't think it's a case of following behind one thing, one idea, one plan. I think the realization has got to be on an individual basis, and it will empower us individually. And as we go forward and we're empowered individually, that means collectively we will all be on the same page and empowered about it. So this is a bit of a changing week. As I said, that dust settling from the lunar eclipse coming out. And we've got to use that intuition and stay true to it. And that seems to be playing on both sides. And the universe is really trying to help us to manifest something. But we've got to do it right. We've got to manifest the harmony within the relationship side in order to make the right choice, in order to get the technology that's going to help not only the Earth, as we are only custodians of this planet, but also help us as a collective soul, if you like, or collective community of humans, that we can evolve as well within us collectively. So there you go. As I said, there will be the fixed, mutable and cardinal videos coming out on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. They will be the days that I will be doing the Astroflower science in the going future. And then you will be getting your weeklies on Thursday, Friday and Saturday. Now that's fixed, mutable and cardinal. And we will be doing the collective Sunday reading and sort of seeing if there's a connection between all the signs for their week going out. It's been it's been interesting, difficult to put all the information in together, and this is a working project. It's evolving. It will evolve in time. I thank you very much for being here with us and your support for this channel. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, we will be able to have this live chat so we can have questions and answers between us all. And I think that will help us all to get a lot more clarity on the situation going forward. In the meantime, everybody, don't forget, I know life can be difficult, but life should be fun, even when it is difficult. So please do enjoy.